My name is Carter Arrington. I knew this metalhead guy that was down the street from me, and when I was probably about 10 years old. I'd go over to his house and just listen to all these records. And by the time I was 11, I was falling asleep to nothing but Slayer and Metallica every night, just sitting there on my little boombox, hitting play and just looping it all the time. It was all metal, and then as years go on, you develop, and your tastes change, and one style bridged into another, and eventually I got into like a lot of soloist kind of players, and then that led to more jazz influenced stuff, and it just all changed. Plus, once I started gigging a lot, that had a huge influence also. I've got a guitar in my hands every day, anywhere from like 2 to 12 hours, depending on what's happening, whether that's teaching or studio stuff or performance, so it's pretty constant. I'm usually looking for 5 things whenever I buy or choose to use a piece of gear. One is it's got to sound good. Number 2 is ease of use. It's got to be durable and be able to take some punishment. It can't be too big either. If I'm using a pedal board, it's kind of limited space, and I don't want to lug a full stack around anywhere. But most importantly, the biggest thing is going to be how I feel when I play it. If it responds well to my playing, and if I can use it naturally. Something can sound great, and if I don't feel it in my hands when I'm using it, I just have a hard time going after it. Like, for example, we're talking about cable. Like, cable makes a big difference. You sit there, and if you plug in with something that really supports your sound, you're going to feel more comfortable than if you're fighting against something. I remember when I rewired my board with all Colossal stuff. I went to the first gig, and I hit one chord. There's another guitarist on the gig too, so our rigs are kind of similar. But I just hit one chord, and it was like, bam. But man, the hugest difference I noticed immediately is that my sound had more support. With these, I noticed immediately I wasn't like attacking as hard. My notes would sing a little bit more. I just had more support. Everything felt a little wider, and actually I noticed I played a lot more relaxed after I got used to that. It was something to get used to because I had been fighting cheap gear for a long time. The Colossal Cable, actually, number one, I immediately started playing differently as soon as I felt that support behind me. One thing I noticed, like a lot of times I'll go to playing with my fingers, and if I don't have enough level or enough cushion there, that feels funny, and I start attacking harder and doing that. But as soon as the Colossal one was through the amp, all of a sudden I was like, okay, I have access, as a player at least, to this entire dynamic range of stuff that I didn't feel was available with the other cable.